be a better photographer, then stop letting the camera do all the work.
This is just going to be a quick little rant, I guess. I keep meeting people that will see my photos, or they're out taking photos and we strike up a conversation, or I'll observe people just in their natural habitat taking pictures, and I'll see that they have no desire to better themselves. That's hard for me to deal with because I really want everybody to be better at their craft. There's lots of problems that go in with photography where you let the camera do all the work. And there's nothing wrong with letting the camera do some of the work. I mean, the whole point of having a tool is to make life easier. But if you do everything half-assed and willy-nilly, it's not actually getting easier, and you're not getting better at your craft. You're literally wasting your time and everybody else's time, and you're saying that you want to be a great photographer. Well, you can't be a great photographer if you're not actually the photographer. And what I mean by that is, if you put your camera in green means go on all the auto functions, and you have it on high speed and this and that and everything else, and you shoot without any intentions, then you didn't get the picture, the camera did. Do you want to be able to reproduce the same type of good photography over and over again? Well, you got to learn your camera first. And this isn't meant to discourage anybody. It's quite the opposite. I want to encourage you to learn the features of your camera. You know, if you think about what a camera's made of, it's made of plastic, metal, glass, and some circuitry. There's not really much to it. They're quite dumb in the real world compared to computers in the modern era. And I like it that way. I like the fact that the camera isn't going to outsmart me, but it is smarter than you if you're only shooting in green means go, in auto. Auto means it's doing it all. It chooses your aperture, your ISO, your shutter speed. It chooses what light you're trying to capture. It chooses everything except for the intention that you're going after. And if you're not going after something intentionally, then you are just spraying and praying. You're literally trying to capture something great without knowing how to get there. It's not like driving a car where the engine is meant to accelerate and decelerate and everything else. The car is dumb, but you are telling it when to accelerate and when not to accelerate, because your eyes see if there's a car in front of you or some sort of obstruction or a curve in the road or what have you. It's no different with your camera. The camera's dumb. It doesn't know that you're trying to capture a sliver of light going through a little area. It doesn't know that you're trying to intentionally have some motion blur to add to the story. It doesn't know anything. All it knows is whatever settings the light meter says for where you're focusing at. And if it's an autofocus, then it's trying to choose something based off of contrast. It doesn't mean it's finding the most interesting scene in the picture. So, stop spraying and praying. That's not going to do anything for you. It's not going to make you a better photographer. Now, a broken clock is right twice a day. So, you may get some cool pictures by doing that, but you won't be able to repeat them when you want to repeat them. Just like a clock won't be right any other time of the day except for when it happens to be the time of day that it's stuck on. Don't get stuck by letting the camera be the brain. How can you get better than the camera? Well, you are better than the camera. You're just choosing to let the camera be better than you. Let me tell you, once you've mastered how your camera works, you may choose to add some of these auto settings, but it'll be with intent. It'll be with, okay, I don't want to adjust the white balance every time. I don't want to adjust the shutter speed because I'm trying to let in more light, or I'm not going to adjust the ISO myself. I think it'll adjust it based off of me changing the shutter speed or whatever. It's really a matter of knowing how the camera works so you can choose some of those automated functions. Don't let it automate everything until you understand how it works. Now, in the end, once you understand that stuff and you start adding some of those automated things, you may go out and shoot with Green Means Go, and it's still you doing it because you know how that camera is going to react to a scene. And maybe it'll just make that much faster. Maybe you're trying to document things in, say, street photography, and you don't want to have to worry about anything other than the perfect composition at that time. Well, with the right automated features, that's fine. But you knew it was going to do what it was going to do. If you don't learn how to use the camera first, the camera is using you. Anyway, that's about all I'm going to rant about. I just wanted to throw it out there that if you want to become a better photographer, first and foremost, start learning your camera. All cameras are a little different, but the principles are the same. It doesn't matter if you're a Canon user, Nikon user, Sony user, Pentax, whatever it may be. The principles of photography are the same. So learn those principles and then start playing with some of the automatic features. You will be surprised about how much better your photos will be because you're shooting with intent. Now, if you've ever shot with film, you'll know that we had to shoot with intent back in the day. And the reason why is there was only 36 exposures if you had the big roll of film. And so you had 36 chances to get your picture. Just yesterday, I was talking to some ladies that were shooting, and they were shooting thousands and thousands of pictures. Now here's the other problem before I end this subject. If you shoot thousands of pictures, for sure you're going to get a few that are good. But, again, did you take the pictures or did the camera take the pictures? Because if it took thousands of pictures to get one or two good ones, you're not really advancing yourself. You're not really being the photographer. You're just being the guy that pushes the button. There's a difference. If this type of content resonates with you at all, if you want me to keep talking about these things and having little rants, let me know. Give me a little comment, even if it's a hate comment and you want to tell me that I'm an idiot. That's okay. I would like to hear it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and until next time, keep shooting.